Good morning, everybody. I hope you all are doing well and you people are practicing your syllabus at home. But don't forget to keep your assignments ready whenever school will reopen. Now, let us revise what we have discussed in our previous video. We have discussed about the method of separation of two miscible liquids through the process fractional distillation. We have also discussed its practical application in our day-to-day life and how it is different from simple distillation. Let us understand these things one more time. Basically, fractional distillation technique is used to separate the miscible liquids which have the difference in their boiling point less than 25 Kelvin. The difference in the boiling points of two miscible liquid is very close to each other. In this method, we are using a special apparatus that is fractionating column. This column is made up of large vertical glass tube having glass beads in it. These glass beads increases the time and large surface area is provided for hot vapors to condense repeatedly. Next, we have discussed the difference between the simple distillation and fractional distillation. Simple distillation is used to separate the miscible liquids which are having very large difference in their boiling point. On the other hand, fractional distillation is used when the difference in the boiling points of two miscible liquids are very less, that is less than 25 Kelvin. In simple distillation, we make use of simple apparatus like two flasks, condenser, etc. But in fractional distillation, we use fractionating column to increase the surface area so that vapors get cooled down and condense easily. The next we have discussed the application of fractional distillation. The first application we did in the last video also, that is separation of different gases from air. The next we are having the separation of components of crude oil, that is the fractional distillation of petroleum to get the different products like petrol, diesel, lubricating oil, paraffin wax, etc. Afterward, the third we are having, it is used to separate the mixture of miscible liquid like acetone water, alcohol water, etc. Now, as we know very well, water is the main component for our survival. Without water, we cannot exist. But what will happen if this water will not be purified? We will not get purified water for our drinking purpose. We know that the main source of water supply in the cities is either a nearby river or a lake or any other reservoir. Mainly, these water bodies consist of suspended solid substances and some germs. So before this water can be supplied to homes, it must be purified to remove these impurities as well as germs. So today we are going to start with the method of purification of water. That is, we will learn about water treatment plant. This topic we have also done in our 7th class under the chapter wastewater story. Let us start again with the help of video and these slides how the water can be purified. This slide is showing the water treatment plant and the arrangement of different tanks. The very first tank you can see, that is reservoir. The water from river is pumped by the pumping station into these large reservoirs. The next you can see sedimentation tank. Here in this sedimentation tank, the water is allowed to stand in the sedimentation tank for some time. During this time, many of the insoluble substances which are present in water get settled down at the bottom. From this sedimentation tank, the water now sent to the loading tank. In this loading tank, the alum, which is also known as fitkari, is added. The main purpose of adding alum is to increase the sedimentation rate. The insoluble suspended particles stick to this alum and become heavy and get settled down at the bottom. Afterwards, the water is then passed through filtration tank. In this filtration tank, three layers are present, that is fine layer at the top, coarse sand layer in the middle, and gravel, that is tiny stones at the bottom. The layers of sand and gravel act as a filters. When water passes through these layers, even the small suspended particles and other materials in water get removed. Then clear water is passed through chlorination tank. Amount of chlorine gas is added to water in this tank. Chlorine is added to water to kill the germs present in it. This is known as disinfecting the water or sterilizing the water. Let us understand this process of water treatment by the upcoming video.
Fresh water from various sources may contain disease-causing germs and impurities. Large-scale water purification is done before it reaches our homes. So, let's see the journey of water before it reaches our home. At the end of this module, you will be able to define and describe sedimentation, filtration, and aeration, describe the process of chlorination and adding disinfectants, describe the journey of water from the sources to our homes. Here is a simplified diagram of a water treatment plant. Fresh water from the rivers and lakes are taken through pipes to large water treatment plants for purification. In the first stage of purification, water is pumped and stored in large sedimentation tanks. Alum is commonly used as a coagulant which forces tiny particles of dirt to stick together and settle down. In the second stage, water is carried from sedimentation tanks to the filtration tanks. Here, water is passed through the beds of charcoal, sand, and gravel. This process removes the remaining suspended impurities. The third stage of purification process is aeration. Air is passed through the filtered water in the reservoir by a pump with air diffusers. The circulation of air reduces the concentration of taste and odor-causing substances. This process is known as aeration. Disinfecting is the first stage of the purification process. In this stage, water is carried from the aeration tank to the disinfectant tank. Adding disinfectants such as chlorine destroys disease-causing organisms in water. Ultraviolet radiation and oxidative chemicals such as potassium permanganate and ozone are also used for disinfecting water. What's next? Yes, now the water is purified and ready to drink. This water is stored in the storage tanks and supplied in towns through underground pipes. Thus, water undergoes several processes before it reaches our taps as potable water. To make our tap water extra safe for drinking, we can follow some very simple methods in our kitchen. A simple filter directly fitted to the kitchen tap. Boiling. The process of killing harmful germs by boiling is called sterilization of water. Boiling the water for 1 more minute after it reaches a rolling boil makes it safe for drinking.
I hope you have understood today's topic. Here we are having one question to do on the basis of the topic, that is treatment of water for city supply. Just go through this question, and for further query please write down in comment box. Thank you and have a nice day.